Agent Lonnie Zamora pursues a vehicle along Highway 85 near the town of Socorro.
Lonnie Zamora is an experienced, on-duty police officer engaged in a high-speed chase when all of a sudden his attention is caught by a flame in the sky.
Thinking he may have witnessed a car accident, Zamora breaks off his chase to investigate.
He soon realized this was no car. The object he was looking at was essentially white and featureless, oval in shape, but on legs of some sort.
Suddenly, in the distance, flame shoots out from the bottom of the object, and it takes off.
This is like nothing he's ever seen before. The speed, the acceleration, the shape of this thing, it's extraordinary.
Zamora files a report of the event. It becomes known as the Socorro Incident.
The FBI, the Army, the Air Force, everyone wants to know what's going on.
Zamora saw the craft just a few miles from the White Sands missile range, home to the U.S.'s classified weapons delivery systems.
30 years later, two former military officers reveal that at White Sands in 1964, there were experiments going on with the lunar surveyor.
In preparation for the Apollo missions, NASA's lunar surveyors gathered data about the lunar moon's surface. Pre-mission testing took place in the New Mexico desert.
These survey probes, when they were tested on Earth, were deployed by helicopter. And this is almost exactly consistent with what Lonnie Zamora saw.
Did Zamora see a NASA probe? While some of the facts fit, many investigators point to discrepancies in the theory.
Helicopters are loud. And he would have heard that. He would have seen the helicopter.
Lonnie Zamora reported this object as being about 30 feet to 40 feet long. The lunar surveyor, however, is only about 40 feet long, so that's not it.
More than 50 years after the strange event in New Mexico, the Socorro Incident remains unexplained.
Between 1995 and 1996, the Galatia area of Spain appeared to have a significant uptick of the number of reported UFO sightings, with some reports even describing humanoid creatures. But when the Spanish government declassified hundreds of pages of files pertaining to UFOs, it turns out there really wasn't an uptick at all. The area had been a hotbed of sightings since the 60s, with many of them captured on film by military installations or amateur cameramen. This particular clip, captured from a fishing vessel, is one of the more alarming to come from the region. An object can be seen hovering above what appears to be a dark patch on the surface of the water. Suddenly, and with startling speed, the object plunges into the ocean. This clip, along with other reported incidents, has long fueled speculation that there may be an underwater alien base in the region. This was not the first time an unidentified object has been seen exiting or entering the waters of the area. It is, however, the most dramatic such event to be captured on film.
Cuiras, Brazil. Across October, November and December of 1977, the Brazilian island of Cuiras was plagued by various mysterious objects appearing in the sky. Rays of light coming from the UFOs would strike the islanders, giving them headaches and causing paralysis. Dr. Valide Carvalho, a town doctor, treated over 40 patients who had bizarre, small burns which turned black just 10 minutes after being struck by the light. After the mass panic regarding the attacks, a team of Air Force officers was sent to the island to investigate the strange events in a plan named Operation Saucer. The findings of the operation did not come to light until 1997, when the captain of the investigation, Urangue Holanda, gave an interview and said he was visited by a humanoid alien while on the island. He committed suicide just 4 months later, and the records from Operation Saucer remain a secret.
The Warren Air Force Base UFO. Do aliens really come in peace as the movies say? This 2010 encounter began when the Warren Air Force Base reported losing total control over the nuclear missiles they were storing, with their many engineers unable to communicate with them via their intricate computer network systems.
But officials say it's nearly impossible for a person to hack the system, and they do not believe the act was intentional.
Shortly thereafter, a massive cigar-shaped object, believed to be a UFO, was said to be seen hovering above the Wyoming base. You probably think there's a connection between the UFO and the malfunctioning missiles, right? Well, it gets freakier. Supposedly, the military base received transmissions from the UFO threatening them not to call for help due to the missile disruptions. Spooky stuff.
In January 2008, residents of the rural Texas town of Stevensville were treated to an unusual sight. It began with a few white lights hovering over Highway 67, which suddenly became a multitude, flying in perfectly straight parallel lines. Local pilot Steve Allen took to the sky to investigate the phenomenon, and returned with an estimation that the formation was about a mile in length, moving at upwards of 3,000 miles per hour. UFO investigators descended on the tiny town, where residents all described the same thing: bright lights in perfect formation, flying so fast that they couldn't even be tracked with binoculars. After initially denying there had been any exercises in the area, the Air Force stated that actually it had been conducting maneuvers that night with 10 F-16 Falcons, but this utterly failed to convince the citizens of Stevensville, who insist that the objects they saw that night numbered way more than 10, and possessed capabilities far beyond any aircraft known to man. Said Allen, the pilot, "I don't know if it was a biblical experience or somebody from a different universe or whatever, but it was definitely not from around these parts."